You want the pull-up bar that is also a parallette? Then you might need these. So today we'll be reviewing the dual pull-up bar by Gorletic, which also can be used as some parallettes. Gorletic creates a lot of innovative products and they have over 30 years of experience in woodworks, and we already reviewed a lot of their calisthenics products. So now let's check this one out. So it was quite easy to hang this one up, and as you can see we have two planks over here and both of them have a logo on it. Also over here you have a hook which you can attach resistance bands to, and you can put it in there, but also in here. As you can see, you have two bars on both of the parallettes. Usually you can also hang this one on a wall, but now we have attached it above our door, so we can as well use it with this door, but also you can open up the door and then you have a lot of space. So the length right now of the pull-up bar is 93 centimeters, and one very nice thing about this product, we hung up the planks next to each other, but actually you could just hang them wider apart, and like that you would have the option to do a very close grip, neutral grip pull-up. And if you want to do your regular narrow chin-ups or pull-ups, then maybe you might do them here, but if you hang it wider apart, then actually you just switch to just using one and then you do it here. So the bar of one parallette is 42 centimeters long, and over here the distance from the wall is like about 10 centimeters for the first bar, and the second one is 35 centimeters away from the wall. And the thickness of the bar is actually 39 millimeters. So these bars over here, they are a bit of a weird shape. They're kind of like square. So the width is about 30 millimeters and the height of it is about 33 millimeters. So now let's test out the product with the door closed, so that it's kind of similar to when you would hang this up on your wall. But of course it's still a bit different because you have the depth of the door frame. I can kind of stretch my legs so it's hanging up high enough and I don't hit my head on the ceiling. Over here this would be nice if they are a bit more apart. Then already I start kind of hitting the door, so with a wall, that would be even worse actually. And of course you can also use the parallette by itself, like one. It's interesting, but again, I hit my knees. So in this way, with this bar, it's actually super nice that you can isolate yourself and really do your toe touches very nicely. This would be even more the case with a wall instead of a door.
Okay, nice height. My feet are dangling and I don't hit the ceiling at all. Okay, so that's already pretty wide, so sure you can put it wider if you're maybe taller, but I think it's already quite nice. Yeah, I mean, the way it's designed, you have so many options of different holds. Yeah, so now I don't hit the door yet, but if this was a wall, then I'd already start hitting it. Another good reason to do it at your door. I was wondering whether this was going to be too deep, but it's actually still very nice because my back is just entirely against the door. Yeah, and the wood is 39 millimeters, which is relatively thick, but it feels really nice.
So now let's test it out with the door open, because this gives a lot of space for your legs. Nice. Now you just don't need to pay attention anymore. Nice, easy. Okay, this is kind of in the way, but fine. Enough space for your legs. Ooh. I never actually have done some wide pull-ups like this. It's pretty nice that you have this option. With a wall, this would not be that nice. Now with the door open, very good. Well, yo. Okay, so muscle ups are anyway not ideal, but with this, it's even less ideal than usual. So let's try some exercises with only one hanging on here. But first of all, let's explain to you how to take it off. So over here you have this click system. You have to undo both. Then you just take it off like this, which is very easy. And when you want to hang it back up, you just simply put it on here and you kind of have to aim for the holes. Nice. So like this, of course, you have the option to very easily do your neutral grip. When you have only one hanging up, it makes even a bit more sound. Actually, it always makes a bit of sound because it's wood. And also with this system, of course, it's hanging up a bit loose, but still it feels very sturdy, but there is a bit of movement going on when you are doing the pull-ups, but you still feel very safe doing them. With a pull-up bar like this, it's always nice to combine it with some tools, like for instance, the resistance band. Over here you have the hook, which you could put this resistance band through it for doing assisted work or your warm-ups, but usually we would just put it around the bar. So with this bar, it's hanging up quite high, so I think assisted pull-ups are gonna be very nice with this one. So with the Titan 5 by Gorletic, we knew that it was capable of handling up to 160 kilos, but with this one, we don't know how much it can handle, so we won't be testing it out with a weighted vest, but we will be testing it out with some gymnastics rings, so let's try that out. With the door open, dips you can do both directions, but if you would close the door, then of course doing dips this direction, or if it would be a wall, then your legs would be hitting the wall, and like this, it might be possible, but honestly, if the door frame wasn't there, then I think you'd be hitting the wall with your head. So when looking at this design, we think that it's mostly designed for downward force, but of course with some gymnastics rings you can do some exercise to the side, like some rows. So now let's find out whether this pull-up bar also works well as parallettes. I think it is quite high, so there might be some movement going on. There are many ways to do push-ups on this. So for instance like this, you can also do them like this. Also the other way around, like many options. You can also put these like so, and for instance do push-ups like this. Let's try like this. It's a bit narrow, and this foot is slightly in the way. That's pretty nice. Of course, you can also put them wider. So a lot of options for doing your push-ups, but now let's try an L-sit. So far it feels quite stable. Let's try a handstand.
I didn't feel any movement, so that's fine. I don't think you can go wide with these, because then this will probably happen, so I'm just not gonna try that right now. So they don't have anti-slip feet on the sides, only right here, which means that if you do put them like this, the wood is just scraping the floor. Yeah, so it is nicer if I wanted to go really wide, but there's no anti-slip, so again, not ideal.
So before we conclude, we found out that 94% of our viewers don't actually subscribe. So subscribe so that we can make more and better reviews for you with more and more partners. We really like the look of it and also the grip of the bar, and it was also very easy to hang it up. And actually you can customize the width of the grips by also hanging the planks a little bit more apart. We chose to put it above your door, and that is actually what we would advise you to do as well, because then you have much more space for your legs, and compared to the wall, there are no downsides with that. You have a lot of exercise variety with this bar, and you have a lot of different kinds of grips. And besides that, you can also combine it with a resistance band to do your warm-ups and also some assisted work. Plus, you can also use some gymnastics rings to also do some dips and some push exercises, plus your muscle-ups. So we definitely think it's cool that they tried to combine a pull-up bar with the functionality of a parallette as well. But usually when you try to combine something like that, they suffer. And in this case, the parallettes definitely do their job, but there are definitely better parallettes on the market. So honestly, we would prefer two different products that do their own thing very well. But if you are really looking for something that does both, then we would recommend this one. So if you're interested in getting this product, then you should click the links in the description or here. And don't forget to use the CWW10 discount code for 10% off. And if you want us to review any other products, let us know in the comments, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a good day.